From MTN News, you're watching Montana This Morning.
The Bozeman School District has a new deputy superintendent. Coming up, find out who is stepping into a leadership role.
And a new bill in Helena could lower Montana's income taxes a little, but also make figuring out what you owe a lot easier. Coming up, find out how that could happen.
Well, good Tuesday morning. Holly Brantley, Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell here. You're watching Montana This Morning. So, Matt, can Mother Nature please get over it? Because we need to move on to spring.
You're asking me,
I know. But I feel like you've got the direct line to Mother Nature.
I have my ear to the ground, I'll tell you that.
That's right.
Good news is the winds are a lot lighter this morning. Our temperatures are a little more on the crisp side, but we don't have the extreme wind to deal with for the day today. We're still looking at the potential of a few isolated snowflakes for a few areas, but this is all going to clear out very quickly. We will see some cloud cover trying to roll across the area for the afternoon. Our wind speed still in that 15 to 25 mile an hour range through the afternoon. It's beautiful out there looking out right now. Daytime temperatures only into the mid to upper 30s, both east and west of the divide today, but we are looking at a milder stretch toward the weekend. We'll look in depth at your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. 6:31 now. Bozeman School Board covered a lot of ground in last night's meeting.
MTN's Annie Johnson has a full recap on current COVID trends within the district and a new deputy superintendent.
The Bozeman School District developed a system to help them look at current COVID trends within the district to help them with their decision making.
I'm happy to say that even though it's only been several weeks since that last update, they've been several weeks of improving trends within the district.
A few weeks ago, the COVID metrics and matrix raised some concern.
It was this string particularly of high school cases that we were seeing, and as Casey mentioned, at the high school, middle school, and elementary levels, evidence of in-school transmission that was prompting concern, which then prompted a conversation with the board.
But this meeting was all about good news because current trends showed promising results.
Actually, we've fallen below this CDC high-risk lines. The first time at the high school level that we've fallen below that line.
Several questions came up from trustees, including CDC recommendations changing from 6 feet social distancing to 3 feet.
When those type of changes are coming about, how are you as a district, how are we looking at those?
It doesn't change a whole lot for us because we're essentially there with the move to full in-person instruction.
Another highlight from Monday's meeting was the approval of current Highlight Elementary Principal Mike Van Vuren as the new Deputy Superintendent for the 21-22 school year.
The advantage from my perspective is just having really good stability in the district next year and having good innovative thinkers. I think you fit in really well, so congratulations.
The next school board meeting is scheduled for Monday, April 12th. Reporting in Bozeman, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
A Belgrade man faces a felony assault on a peace officer charge after he reportedly tried to grab a police officer's gun outside a Bozeman bar on Friday night.
21-year-old Brennan Sleuth accused in that serious confrontation. Now, according to charging documents, Bozeman Police Department responded to a report of an assault that took place outside the Scoop Bar. Charging documents report when officers arrived on the scene, a woman was found lying on the ground crying with blood on her face. Court documents also say a witness told officers she'd seen Sleuth assaulting the alleged victim.
Once Sleuth was located, he was informed he was being arrested and reportedly refused to comply and began resisting arrest. Sleuth then allegedly reached and grabbed an officer's gun during the struggle and began to pull on it from the holster. Court documents say the officer feared for his safety and needed Sleuth, which caused him to release the weapon. Bond was set at $3,000. Sleuth's next court appearance is April 16th.
In other headlines, as state lawmakers in Helena continue working on the state's budget, they're applying some additional scrutiny to the State Department of Corrections and the success of its rehabilitation programs. They've already approved the first draft of the Corrections Department budget, but on Monday they presented a separate bill to examine how the agency measures the success of criminal offenders after they are released from prison or state-sanctioned programs. State Representative Bill Mercer of Billings says the state needs a consistent definition of recidivism, the rate at which released offenders return to the system. So he's sponsoring House Bill 693, which creates that definition. It says someone recidivates when they are sentenced for a felony within 6 years of being released from prison or state supervision. Mercer says since the legislature passed reforms in 2017 known as justice reinvestment, Lawmakers aren't confident the state is meeting the goals of the reforms.
There's a fair amount of frustration that there really hasn't been good progress made to make determinations about whether the programs are working and are reducing recidivism. But this whereas clause really focuses on the fact that although justice reinvestment was designed to study this, we think there's a lack of progress in terms of the study of that.
By the way, State Corrections Director Brian Goodkin said on Monday that the department will be working with Mercer on the bill as it moves through the legislature.
A Republican state senator has introduced a major rewrite of Montana's state income taxes with an eye toward making them a bit lower and a lot simpler.
As MTN's Mike Dennison reports, it could become a substitute for a state income tax cut proposed by Governor Greg Gianforte.
State Senator Greg Hertz of Polson dropped in his 97-page bill late Friday. It reduces the number of income tax brackets from 6 down to only 2. The top rate would drop from 6.9% down to 6.5% for any taxable income over $20,500 for a single filer and over $41,000 for a married couple. Income below those levels would be taxed at 4.7%. Hertz says it also would drop as many as 50,000 low-income Montanans off the income tax rolls entirely. That's because his bill essentially incorporates the high federal standard deductions, so anyone earning up to $12,400 or $24,800 for a couple would pay no state income tax at all. How much would this bill cut state income taxes? Hertz says about $45 million a year, an average reduction of about $70 per taxpayer. And finally, Hertz's proposal would get rid of at least 24 tax credits and deductions.
This will just make things a little simpler for folks. It's going to save most people taxes and give us a little broader base, fair tax system where we're not picking winners and losers with credits and deductions.
Some of the tax credits Hertz would eliminate for donations to Montana colleges, for first-time home buyers, investments in energy conservation or solar power or geothermal power systems, or for preservation of historic buildings. Hertz also is the sponsor of the bill containing Governor Greg Gianforte's proposal to cut the top state income tax rate. Hertz says the governor's office told him they'd take a look at his new bill and, if it meets their expectations for tax policy, might be willing to support it. Democratic Senate Minority Leader Jill Cohenauer told MTN News Monday she has many questions about the bill's true impacts and who it actually benefits or not.
This continues to look like we're protecting a very few special interests, and we're not going to be looking at everyday Montanans and what is going to help them.
It's pretty clear that Republicans intend to cut state income taxes this session. As we get to the last few weeks of the legislature, the only question seems to be how they'll do it. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Well, the tax filing deadline is extended until May this year.
But what does that really mean? Newsy's Bianca Francini has the latest on what you need to know.
For the second year in a row, the deadline to file federal income taxes has been extended due to the pandemic.
I'm not an expert, but we spoke with lots of them and asked, what does this extension mean for taxpayers?
The IRS extended the time not only for tax return filing for individuals, but also the time to pay that income tax on April 15th. You now have until May 17th.
But no need to worry. It's not expected to cause a delay in refunds.
I think that, the IRS is going to continue processing returns as quickly as they can.
It's important to note that the new deadline only applies to federal tax returns, not state ones. But some states have been given a little extra time.
Because of the recent winter storms, Louisiana citizens now have until June 15th, and also Texas and Oklahoma.
And the new deadline doesn't include quarterly tax payments for small businesses.
That deadline for small business owners is still April 15th.
For more information on the 2020 tax season, visit newsy.com/taxingtimes.
That'll help a lot of people out.
Such
possibly.
an interesting year. I'm glad I'm not an accountant, and everybody else out there is glad I'm not too.
Numbers aren't our jam.
No, not my thing.
We like words.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Most of the time.
Yeah,
well, we
right.
try anyway.
Yep.
Well, coming up here, gas price warnings are starting to come true. The price is on the rise. How high it's likely to go, that's coming up.
What's happening at 7 o'clock on CBS this morning? Find out.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, we'll take you inside the trial of fired Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, the new things that we're learning about the case, and how the jury reacted to opening statements. Plus, a federal vehicle seat standard could be putting your family at risk. A 6-year CBS News investigation reveals how the backs of some front seats can collapse. Yikes. During crashes. That's not good. And Virgin Galactic rolls out the newest spaceship that will soon take tourists into space. First on CBS This Morning, Sir Richard Branson, that was his happy face. And the Virgin Galactic CEO tell us how it could usher in a new era of space tourism. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.